Conan the Barbarian, the Crusher, the Conqueror, the low tier? Oh! Conan the Barbarian is one of the coolest characters that Mortal Kombat 1 has ever added. Not only is he completely ripped, but it's also Arnold, and it sounds hilarious. There is one big issue with this character, however, and that is that most people seem to think that Conan is very low tier already. I mean, here we've got Sikander complaining about him, which, I mean, that doesn't really count. He complains about everything. But then we've got guys like MK Javier, probably the current best Scorpion player in the world, saying that he doesn't believe that Conan will be good for the competitive level. If you guys know anything about me, I take low tier characters and I try to make them as good as possible. So, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you why you're playing Conan the Barbarian wrong and how you can
crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. That is good. That is good.
First things first, we should go over Conan's best cameos. Conan has a lot of choices in terms of cameos, but you should try to find somebody who's really good at helping you extend combos meterlessly. Some of these characters include Serena, Chameleon, Farah, Scorpion, and my personal favorite, Sector. First things first, let's talk about Conan's best attribute. Conan has an incredible amount of range. His one has ridiculous poke pressure. I mean, you can just completely destroy somebody from very far away with a punish combo. So you're going to be able to punish a lot of moves just because of his range. Conan's 1-1 string is very good for this. It's very good at both punishing and bullying your opponent because it's a very quick poke. And everyone knows if you have a very quick one, they are great for staggering your opponents and catching them off guard. Next up, you should really try to focus on his 2-2 throw string because this string can be really helpful in a lot of different regards. Number one, you can cancel it into the overhead special move, and you'll, instead of getting the throw, you'll get an overhead, which does around the same damage as the combo, but a lot of people will try to duck this throw, and they can't duck this overhead, so it's a very safe option. It's +1 if you hit the overhead, so I'd throw that out there pretty often. You do have to be careful, though, because they can poke you out of the overhead. That just makes this next option even scarier. If you notice they're poking out of your overhead pretty often, you can actually go for your camel counter, which will give you a massive combo. Watch how long he's stunned for. It's basically a finish him screen. So if you go for your overhead and you see them poking out of it very frequently, what you can very easily do, camel counter, charge up your back two, launch them into the sky, and get a ridiculously good combo. 2-2 is a really good string for Conan, and it has a lot of mix-up potential. Do not sleep on this string. That we have probably the best part about Conan Barbarian's entire kit, and that is forward 2-1. This move is one of the most forward advancing mids in the game. It has so much range. It just completely cleaves half the screen, and it's incredibly hard to avoid. This move is very good, and the second hit, let's say they jump over you, a lot of times this second hit right there, it has such a gigantic forward dash that you'll end up dodging the opponent if they try to punish you after jumping over you. Watch this. Just like that, I was able to dodge out of there last second, so he's actually not able to punish me with an easy jump over, which is a very good tool. I mean, it's pretty damn helpful to have so much mobility in the middle of a combo string, especially one of his best combo strings. The amount of range and the fact that both those hits are a mid is unbelievable. So as Conan, you will be using this string very often around this range. As a matter of fact, I try to sit in this range and look for whiff punishes as much as possible because that will help you tremendously with this character. Next up, we have back 3. This move kind of sucks. You can cancel it. The only reason I'm showing you is because of this. Every time you do it, he grunts and makes a sound. This is the most toxic move in the game. Lol, lol, lol. But an actual good move is his back 4. Conan's sweep, just like all of his other sword moves, have an insane amount of range. Look at this. It's barely hitting him. The tip is literally tickling his ankle, and he's still getting knocked down with a sweep. This move is great because Conan doesn't have that many overheads or lows. He's more of a whiff punish character. So this move can catch people off guard pretty frequently. I would throw this out every now and then just because they're not going to be blocking low very frequently on Conan. For his anti-air, you actually shouldn't use his uppercut because the range is pretty bad. What you should do for anti-air is if you know they're jumping at you, charge this up a little bit. You don't have to charge it up too much. If you charge it up for like a split second, you'll be able to launch them in the air for a full combo. Kind of like an uppercut cancel without spending 2 bars. And you can do it on reaction too. You don't have to like completely just charge it before they jump. It is a bit of a timing thing, so you got to be smart about it. But if you know they're going to jump at you, you can just obliterate someone. If you somehow manage to fully charge it, they'll go to the skybox. You only need to charge it until you see it flash. The second you see it flash, you'll be able to release it. So you can do it on reaction. You don't have to charge it before the jump or anything. It's actually a really good anti-air tool. Overall, this is an incredible poke tool. This is a great mid, and it's also decent for staggering into your poke tool. Sweep is great. Back 2 is a great anti-air. There is one string that I would ask you all to stay away from. I know it's incredibly tempting to go for this forward 3-3 string, but here's the issue. The first hit is a 22 frame startup, so it's incredibly reactable, and it's a high. I know this is his combo starter, I get that, but guys, I'm telling you, if you want to perform on this character, do not just throw this out there 24/7. You will get caught very easily. An honorable mention that I should bring up, jump-ins are decent on this character. His jumping 3 is okay, but really his jumping 4 is nuts because it bounces them off the ground. So this tool can be really good for starting combos. It's really good for doing jump-in combos. And it's very helpful on a character like Conan who doesn't have the best anti-zone. If you jump over projectile, you can usually get a full combo afterwards. Now we can go over his special moves. His camel counter is absolutely incredible. This move counters everything but jump-ins and lows. So on a character like Reptile, it's not that good because Reptile has such a good low string. But on characters who like to use mids a lot, whiff punish characters like Omni-Man, anybody who's really into whiff punishing or hitting those mids, this move is insane. And not only can it block a lot, but if you block something, they're stuck there forever. It's literally an entire finish him screen basically, where they're just sitting there wobbled, and you can charge up a full back 2, get an immense amount of damage from that. Like seriously, I cannot tell you how good this move is. It is absolutely insane, and not enough people are understanding exactly how crazy it is. We also have the Spinneroonie move. This move has a lot of tech to it, surprisingly. There is a lot about this move. First off, it's actually great anti-zoning. I can use it to deflect projectiles away from me and not get hit by them. And if I enhance it, it'll actually send it back at them. Now, Reptile doesn't have the best projectile for this, but some reptiles will still like to zone you. Like, let's say he does enhance this, I will be able to reflect it right back at him, which is very nice because I can get a full combo from that. Like, something like that is pretty nice. I will not lie. This is his only good anti-zoning tool, and to be completely frank with you, it's really only worth it to enhance in the middle of combos or if you've got a projectile coming at you. But this move can also be used for chip damage. It's very similar to Scorpion's little Spinneroonie move, but it's using a sword and it's not as long. So a character like Sector, which I love to use, can be very helpful to keep this chip damage going. You can call Sector out right here and then start using it. All of a sudden you're safe now because of the rocket, and you just did about 10% or 7% chip damage, which is pretty dang good. Finally, like I said, this move has a lot of nuance to it. This move is actually Conan's combo starter. It takes 2 bars, but you can extend your incredibly good forward range 2-1 into anything, and that means you can also extend it into your forward 3-3. So you can do something like this with 2 bars. I will be honest, this right here is why I told you to find a cameo who can help you with meterless combos. Conan uses 2 bars for most of his combos. That's why Serena, Chameleon, Sector, anybody who can really help you with meterless combo extensions is so useful. You don't want to spend 2 bars every combo. It's a waste of meter completely. Next up is Skyward Guardian. This move is really just a combo tool. I don't really use it for anti-air very often because this is such a good anti-air. You're really only going to be using this and seeing this in combos. This move, Skyward Guardian, is very good at extending combos. It's used in a majority of Conan's combos just to get an extra hit off the ground. So you're not going to be using this in neutral too often, nor the enhanced version. We then have Cimmerian Rising, which I thought was a pretty good armor move. I think I'm wrong about that, actually. I think it's, out of the 3 armor options that you have, probably the worst. Considering how bad the horizontal range is, it's much more of a vertical move slash combo ender because of how much advantage you get off hit when you hit them with it. I wouldn't use this for armor very often unless they're jumping in at you. Then I have Barbarian Blitz, which is just a really funny move where you just run at him with your sword up. It's perfect for this character. And it also has armor, but be careful. It doesn't have armor during the run. The armor only starts during the hit, which is kind of weird, I know, but it's just how they made the move. If you get up close with this move, instead of running at them, you actually just hold your sword above their head. It looks super stupid, and it's very goofy. This is the overhead I was showing you earlier with the 2-2 string. This move can be very helpful for mix-ups and combos. It only does about 7%, but that 7% can stack up over time, especially considering this move is actually +1 on block. So I can use this after anything. They can probably throw a down one in there to stop me, but that's where camel counter comes in. I can use this after anything and just start staggering the hell out of them with all these moves. Once again, this move also has armor. This move's armor is way better because it starts kind of immediately, and you can really use this to flash counter people. You can use it to just tank a hit and then start hitting them. You can use it for a lot of different reasons. The best usages for it, though, is canceling into a throw or canceling into some sort of string. Conan has restands, so if you hit them in the sky, you can do like something like this, boom, restand, and then immediately cancel. Now you can go for another 2-2, you can go for a throw, you can go for an overhead just to throw them, you can go for a sweep, you can do a lot of stuff after the cancel. It's a very, very strong tool. Now we have Conan's actual best armor move. This move right here, Enhanced Berserker's March, is just really good. It's a high armor move, but the reason it's so good is because the armor activates instantly. It does about 12%, and it's just way better than the other tools in terms of horizontal. A lot of times I found that this move misses when people are right in front of me. This move almost never misses. I have never had this move miss once. If you're gonna armor as Conan, I'd recommend using this more often than not. Next up, we have the cameo throw, which is just very funny. This is Conan's really only projectile option. Yes, I know. This is his only projectile, and you just grab your cameo and throw it at the opponent. That's it. There's nothing else to talk about. Other than you can't do it with Motaro, so don't run Motaro with Conan. I don't know why they made him so bad. And finally, for special moves, we have Conan's Resurrect mechanic. You basically put that on. It's a 90-frame startup move. It takes forever. This is why I like to run Sector, because I'll throw a missile out there and then do it. But this move is actually pretty damn good, because when you die, everything goes gray for a second, you kill Crom, you get back up, and you have an extra 5 health. I've actually won a couple rounds using this move, so I wouldn't underrate it. I would use it when you can, on the final round, just in case. You really never know. It's a fun mechanic. Conan's Fatal Blow isn't full screen, but it is like a pseudo projectile, so it's half screen projectile. It's pretty good, but I love to run Sector for the Sector Fatal Blow because it's still absolutely broken and gives him a projectile option that's incredibly scary when you're 30%. Like, Conan is usually an easy-ass character to fight from this range, but if I have Sector, the second I see them going projectile, I just go boom, and then I beat them with my own projectile that's way better. Alright, we've basically just covered Conan's entire kit. He's got a lot of nuance to his moves. Now, how do you put these things into practice? Well, let's go over some of the best combos and setups that you can use for Conan and actually destroy your opponents. I'm going to be using Sector for a lot of these. I'll use Serena for some pretty basic combos, because I know a lot of you guys are going to want to use Serena. I would definitely recommend it on this character. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for today's Conan guide. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do me a huge favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. I will be live tonight on my Twitch channel, linked in the description below, so follow that if you're interested. And have a great rest of your guys' day. Peace out, and enjoy your night.